Hello everyone and welcome to the next episode of our Let's Play of Don't Starve. As you can see, I've got a little bit of a problem here, and it's a giant tree that's trying to eat me, and now he's just setting everything on fire, but that's cool, because I kind of needed some charcoal, but I don't know how many of these things are going to give me charcoal. I'm going to try and bait a swing out of him here. There we go. And we're going to deal with this guy as we've dealt with all of our enemies so far, with tons of bludgeoning. Battalions of bludgeoning. There we go. We can get a couple hits off. I don't want to get too greedy with him, though, because our log suit is almost broken, and I am kind of aware that these things can pretty much one-shot you if you get a little frosty. You may get burned with these big guys. So let me see if I can drag them back across the fire right here. Whenever you're fighting these guys, keep in mind that you can drag them across fireplaces, and it will get you safe. I wasn't planning on recording this, but I figured, I needed to film another episode anyways. Oh man, he didn't ignite. Come here, buddy. Catch on fire, you. Nope. The fire may be too low at this point, so let's bait another swing, and as we haven't been attacked by a hound in a little bit, I'm a little scared to let my tentacle spike break right now. So let's go ahead and switch to the spear. We'll see what damage we can get off. We'll continue to dodge his attacks, and down he goes. So we did need these logs so that we can make a new log suit. So there we are, and we'll throw this meat on the fire, which will spruce up our little stack of meat there a tad. And what else did I want to do here? I'm down, just so you can get your bearings, our camp is up here, and I'm down here, and I'm just kind of looking around trying to see where the map goes. There's obviously a landmass right here. I've yet to find where it connects. I have run this corner right here, so it looks like it may connect right there, but it doesn't. I really have no clue where else to look. Every square inch of land that I've looked at has been more or less surrounded by water, so I'm not sure at this point where else to look. As you can see, I feel kind of trapped at the moment. Hopefully this isn't the full extent of the area we live in. It would be pretty awful for us not to have a region with beefaloes and things of that nature, and I would hate to have to cut off the Let's Play early simply because we've run out of things to explore. Now, there are things that we can gather, and there are things that we should get together just to see how long we can survive. But if it turns into a situation where we are actually, this is the extent of all we get in terms of a map, then I may turn this into a kind of a 5 to 6 days in-game check-in like I did with the town series, where I'm like, alright, well, here's what I've done. I've built this, I've done this, I've been looking around and trying to accomplish this. So right now I'm just really kind of exploring. This may not be the most entertaining of episodes, but I figured I'd throw it on camera and I'd have you join me here because, you know, I like filming these videos. I have fun coming up with commentary. I have fun just running around and experiencing things. I feel like it's a lot more fun when there's people kind of paying attention and watching and throwing their comments in and being like, oh, nice going, Splattercat, you totally just got stabbed by a tentacle. But God, I really I'm at a loss. Like I'm wondering if there's maybe a wormhole around somewhere that I've missed that I can jump down that will take me to a separate island chain maybe, but for what I'm looking at right now, there's an island there and I tried to get to it. I couldn't get to it there. This is all surrounded by water, so this may be the extent of all we get unless this attaches to something right here and weaves its way around. So what I'll do is I'll go up here to this, well, let's run down south to this one, which will pop us out up here. And then from there, we can check this little area right here, and that'll be our mission for the day. So I may make this one about 3 days long, just so you get a little bit extra bang for your buck. I have had some people say that I don't really get a whole lot accomplished in my LPs because they're only 2 days long, and 2 days doesn't tend to be enough time to really showcase everything that the game has to offer in terms of just things to get done. Usually it takes a bit more time just to get things gathered up. So I'm going to throw in an extra bonus day in this episode, and we'll see how it goes. And this wormhole doesn't seem like it's too far off, so we're going to stick to the roads, keep our speedy boost. I do have enough money to make myself another log suit if need be, and we'll jump down the wormhole. It's going to pop us out up top. And you think he would stop commenting about how gross it was, but it must be really, really, really gross for him to keep saying it every single time. Like, it must just be filthy going down that little slime hole. Like, what would be worse is if it kind of undulates, like, the way I picture it is like you jump in and then it's like your digestional tract. It kind of just like worms you along. Ugh. That would be a long, long journey. Especially if you're claustrophobic. That would be incredibly unpleasant. So this doesn't attach to anything right here. So we'll try this one next. And then I do need to start jumping down these wormholes and seeing where they come out. I've probably checked a few of these already. But just for safekeeping, let's check this one up here. because I'm not positive that I've jumped down this one yet. And we'll see where we pop out with this one, and maybe it'll be on a different island. I don't know if that's actually a possibility. And out we go. And where did this land us? Okay, so this one comes out here, which means I have jumped in this one before. Luckily, it doesn't take too much time to jump down a wormhole, so when you're doing this experimentation, I have a really short memory. As many of you have pointed out, my memory is just atrocious. Now, I am just really, at any given moment, due to my studies, I'm just inundated with data in my head that I really don't need, and it squeezes all the other stuff out, like toothpaste from a tube, just right out the other end. Where did this one come out? So this one came out in the middle of this hellish spider war zone down here. I don't feel like I have sufficient, well, I'll make myself a log suit, and we'll dance off into the swamp here. We'll see if we can survive a little longer. I do need another tentacle spike, so maybe I'll rope another one of those for myself. And we'll check the boundaries of the swamp here. And just see where it leads us. And God, there is just something eerie about those tentacles popping up that makes me generally feel ill at ease. It is difficult to relax when tentacles are around just trying to be jerks and smacking you in the face. God, that one almost got me. Now, running the edge here thus far has been completely worthless. Like, I really haven't found anything in the swamp worthwhile, which leads me to think I should probably just get out of here, especially since this ridiculous field of spiders up here is going to hatch very shortly. I did check that corner, I believe, and I think that was surrounded by water as well, but for whatever reason the map didn't uncover it. It looks like there's a little bit of something right there, maybe, but there's no way that that actually leads anywhere. It's probably just a little tail of land. And I realized my original plan was to check this over here, so let's jump back down the wormhole. We'll make a campfire for the night, and then we'll see how things go. So let's see how far we can get while time allows. I do have enough meat. After I killed the koalefant, we've got enough meat now to make our meat effigy, so that's also something that I probably should get on before this meat starts to spoil. It looks like this kind of goes out a little ways, although not too far. So we'll just have a little look around here. It looks like we've got another beautiful field of spiders. Hopefully that spider isn't coming at me. Come at me, spider bro. And maybe that connects to something. Maybe that's the key to this whole thing. I don't know. Pick some saplings real fast. I am loath to run down in there and potentially get eaten, so I guess I'll just make a campfire here. There's plenty of trees for us to chop down, so we'll add some wood to the fire here. Equip our handy dandy trusty axe. Eat some of these berries before they go bad. I think they nerfed actually the rot time of berries. They seem to rot pretty quickly, or maybe they've actually only done, I think, one patch since berries began to rot, so maybe that's not the case. Maybe the berries are just, and all those logs just disappeared. The ocean consumed them, unfortunately. So what did we learn? Don't chop trees next to the ocean. So just in case that spider decides to get frosty, he starts to feel extra spider-manly. Although that's probably a female spider, because aren't the female spiders the big nasty ones? The male spiders just the little ones. I'm pretty sure that's how it works with spiders and most insects, so maybe those are females. So we have a question of the night to discuss, and tonight it's going to be an easy. This is going to be one you're probably going to be able to answer pretty quickly. Your favorite video game of all time. Your favorite video game of all time. The one that when you think of, you just filled with nostalgia and joy, and you're just like, oh my god, that game was so awesome. And you find yourself just pondering it. For me, I'm going to have to say Fallout 2. Fallout 2 was a game that I played the living hell out of, and if Fallout 2 doesn't work for you, then my favorite game is Shadowrun for the Sega Genesis. So that's a little fact about me. I love Shadowrun for the Sega Genesis. It was a fantastic game that was way ahead of its time. It was like a Grand Theft Auto that was probably years and years and years before its time. So there you are. There are my favorite games. Feel free down in the comments to let me know what your favorite games are, and we can have a jolly conversation, a merry, jolly conversation about video games that we have wasted loads and loads, indiscriminate amounts of time on. Like, have you ever actually considered that, like, how much time you've spent playing video games? Like, when I think about it, it's just horrible. Like, how much of my life I have spent attached to a TV screen, and after that to a computer screen. But anyways, it's probably some absurd amount of time. Like, I think the only quantitative the only quantitative kind of figure I could use to kind of extrapolate would be to talk about my slash played for World of Warcraft, which is embarrassingly huge. My slash played for World of Warcraft back in the day, I don't play anymore, I haven't played in years, but my slash played is pretty disgusting for World of Warcraft. It's it's not a piece of information that I want to relinquish willingly, but if you really press me, maybe I'll release it in a future. Maybe I'll talk about it. Maybe I will talk about my ridiculous World of Warcraft addiction that pretty much almost blew up my entire life. So now that we're back down here, this looks like it's just another little jutting piece of land, which is very, very disappointing. I keep hoping somewhere I'll run into land that leads somewhere else, but no such luck, no such luck. I've run around off camera just looking everywhere, and the universe it doesn't like us, guys. The universe is not feeling us. At least the Don't Starve universe is not feeling us. So I'm going to head back to Rumble Blankets now. So let's make a sprint back to Rumble Blankets, and we'll see if there's some things we can do around camp. Namely, we really need to get our meat effigy made. So hopefully we make it back in time where we can get that done. There's another koalefant track right there. I'm semi-tempted to go kill another koalefant. Oh, tall bird. Oh, tall bird, what are you doing? And I steal your baby! What are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do now, tall bird? Your babies are mine. And now I got Speedy Boost EX, buddy. You can't catch me. You can't catch me. Wow, he is really staying aggroed. This may not have been the wisest decision. This may have been a very poor decision, to be honest. So I think he's probably just not going to let this go. So after this next attack, we'll see if we can lose him here. And see if we can make it down the wormhole in time. No guarantees. We did not make it down the wormhole in time. We may have to fight him. And he is really hard to click because you can only click on the legs. They should probably increase the hitboxes for these. I guess I'll click his eyeball. That seems to work pretty well. I thought these didn't flinch. I thought these things were just like manly and just ate all your hits. This is actually turning out to be a little anticlimactic. I've always treated tall birds as like the most terrifying thing on the map because they hit you really, really hard if you don't have armor. So I lucked out in that I had a log suit. That one hit would have almost broken my entire log suit, which would have been unfortunate. That would have been a poor turn of events. But what can you do? You can see my grass field has bloomed up here, and sorry guys, I made a bird cage. I was recording another oh, Chester! Chester, beautiful Chester! Chester, my darling chesty friend. Look, I have your bone. Oh, I'm so happy right now. I feel so good about this. Come on, Chester! Yay! There's my good little furry horned friend, I guess. One of his horns aren't symmetrical though. I've got to see if I can lead him through the gate here. There we go, buddy. And I'm going to drop your stick right there for now. Let's get a little fire going. And I'm not really sure how this whole thing works. So I fed him seeds. Oh, you just take the crow out of it. Okay. Well, I built the bird cage. I was filming an episode, but it crashed and the data all got corrupted. So the little 4-minute period in which I made the bird cage was not so successful. Now I need to figure out how I can use this tall bird egg to get a small bird, because I really do want a small bird. Small birds are super awesome, but our first concern right now is to get ourselves a meat effigy so that we don't get ourselves into trouble if we ever end up getting killed. So here we are. We'll chop down a tree or two real fast. I think it said I needed like 5 or 6 boards. Like I needed a pretty hefty amount of wood. Ah, crap. It's another one of those things. Alright. These tree guards are getting a little out of control. Like, it's a bit much, tree guards. Like, really? There we go. Get some hits on him. And I'll throw some sticks. Actually, I don't even think the contained campfire can set him on fire. Maybe it can. Well, you gotta be careful with these tree guards, because as I said before, they hit really, really hard. Now, I have heard about some bugs, like if you quit and save and come back, the tree guard will follow you, and it will effectively attack other things, so it's almost like a pet tree guard, almost. And I'm getting the feeling that my spear is probably going to break before I finish this guy off, although we do have a pretty hefty supply of meat now. I actually was not expecting to have this much meat at this point in the game, so that's good. I never turned down a nice steak dinner. Steaks are pretty awesome, and I got greedy there, but it worked out. And so now we're down to an axe. We are doing battle with an axe, and it looks like if I really get greedy, I can get 4 hits off. Oh no, that was an accident. I clicked an extra time. My counting skills are very poor. My counting skills are awful. Now, the axe does not seem to be very effective, although you would think, since he's basically made out of tree, that it would be, but unfortunately, it is not. So let's grab these logs, and we're going to turn these into planks. I think I needed 5 planks for the meat effigy. Like, it was a lot of wood that you needed. And really, I haven't had a chance to finish the walls yet. It just takes so many supplies to build the walls that it becomes a little cumbersome. No joke. So let's do that, and then we're going to go up here and let's get our beard hair real fast so that before nightfall comes, there we are, we can get our meat effigy going. So standing next to my research engine here, let's look at our magic. To make a meat effigy, we need 4 planks, and so we have exactly enough wood right now, so let's refine that. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. And now that we have that, we're going to go ahead and make our meat effigy. Now this is going to nerf our maximum health. By how much, I'm not very sure. So let's see what happens here. I'm going to put the meat effigy a little away from my base. And it looks like it nerfed it by 15 points. So what a handsome devil indeed. I concur. And I built another chest down here. That was also on camera. And you'll see that I turned my koalefant trunk into like a hoodie or like a tech vest or something. Either way, it's a piece of apparel that would make the Gap really, really happy. Now let's cook the rest of that. I'm going to have to use some twigs for this, unfortunately, because we have absolutely run out of wood making our meat effigy. But we are safe now. We have a respawn point in case anything goes wrong. And so since this is a red bird, I've actually been kind of farming them. Kind of. Because I need their feathers. We're going to use their feathers to make sleep darts, I believe. Let me make sure that that's what it is. Oh, sleep darts use the crows. Fire darts, there we are. We can make fire darts with the red ones. So we have enough for 3 fire darts right now. I have seen those used to devastating effect versus spiders and things of that nature. Although I really think the developer should think about retooling. Speaking of spiders, before I switch subjects too heavily, or too quickly that is, I think the developers need to take a look at the warrior spiders and kind of retool the way they work. I don't think it's absolutely fair that the warrior spiders basically get free hits on you. It's a little frustrating as a player to go up against a mob that you have no chance of dodging no matter how skilled you are. I really feel like that's a little bit janky, but, you know, what can you do? So we're going to start bringing Chester with us again because we can carry more stuff. And in his absence, I was really lamenting my lack of inventory space. It was definitely a problem that I don't like dealing with, and we do have a backpack, but I am just not skilled enough to avoid getting hit. I'm not skilled enough to avoid getting hit with a backpack on, so some people can manage to play the game with a backpack on. I am not one of them. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to check, and I'm just going to bring a spear with me for now because I don't want to use my other tentacle spike up. And we're going to go take a look and see if our pigmen are back. Now, we haven't gotten any cramp eye yet, even though I have been kind of merciless with living animals. I've been killing them left and right, so good, our pigmen are back. Fantastic. So let's kill some pigmen. Ugly monkey man, you dare call me you call me ugly, sir? I bite my thumb at thee. And now you punch me. How inhospitable. And we only got meat this time, which is very disappointing because pig skins are actually what we need. We need a reasonable supply of pig skins in order to keep making houses. Now, I'm not going to stop until I have 8 or 9 down here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get myself a pig army. And I'm thinking that's the best way that we can take care of our spider problem was a giant pig versus spider war. Since we knocked over all the houses where the Pig King is at, we can't really use that strategy by going down and bribing pigmen, unfortunately. It takes so long to get down there that I wouldn't recommend it anyways. And taking my axe, I should probably take the opportunity to grab a little bit more meat. I'm just going to eat these seeds because I don't care. And once we get some more wood chopped, we can go ahead and make ourselves... I have the supplies necessary to make another bee box. I don't really have the supplies necessary to make another pig house, and I need to make sure that I replant my trees. I've been a piss poor steward. I've been a terrible forest warden at replanting my trees, so I need to make sure that that gets done. Otherwise, I'm going to be in a world of hurt. I would like to build the walls up a little bit more too. I feel like I've neglected my walls, although it does dampen the spirit a little bit when monsters can just chew through them. Like, I don't feel like... My original plan was to build my walls up, and then it was going to have kind of a pipeline, and I was going to put in all kinds of sticky webs and things, so that if anything came after me, I could kind of kite it down with fire darts, and Chester appears to have gotten stuck inside the base. Dear, dear, stupid Chester. What can you do? What can you do for such a simple-minded being, aside from love him and pet him? Because that seems to be what he's good for. That's what most really dumb pets are good for. Now, we need a number of logs here. We're going to need quite a few if we want to build up our walls. So, let's grab those. And I'm going to have to plant all these because I don't have inventory space for them. That's fine, though. And once we get like a 20 stack of logs, I think we'll be okay. One thing I did not miss about Chester is that boing 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 sound he makes. He is constantly boinging. He's like Tigger. He's just bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. Fun, fun, fun. Fun, fun. At all. So, just a throwback to my childhood there. So, we need a few more logs. And I apologize, this is making for thrilling gameplay. Get away from there, Crow. Get away. We'll eat that. And Chester is now free. Our twig bushes, or our saplings finally grew. It's a little... It takes those twigs a long time to grow. So I'll probably chop down just these last couple. And we'll get the parts together so that we can start upgrading our walls and actually finish our little enclosure. And that looks like enough. So what we'll do is we'll make some logs here, or some planks. There we are. And so we have official boards, well not planks, boards I guess, if we're going to be very specific. And then if we go to our construction menu, we can make ourselves, God, a few more stacks of these. Fortunately we have leftover boards. And what we'll do now is kind of do our little dance where we keep putting in wall sections. And it just does not want to select, unfortunately. Go! Why do you hate me? Why do you hate me, selection tool? Oh, I'll get it in just a second. And it's not going to let me put that there because there's a log in the way, so move, log. We're being impeded by logs, as if our lives weren't hard enough at the moment. We're being impeded by logs. You kind of have to wonder about the value of your life when you're being impeded by large pieces of wood. Like, oh no. That's like one step too far for me. And our little enclosure is almost completed. And God, the amount of preparation it takes to finish this off is just enormous. I shouldn't have made this so large. I probably could have kept this a little bit smaller and not had to worry about it, but it is what it is. So this is going to be the last part of our third day. Thank you so much for watching. And if you look at the channel page, you'll notice that I have linked up all of my videos and things of that nature. I've linked them up with Twitter and with Steam and also with a Facebook page. So if you're interested in getting updates on the channel, just in case anything happens, I'm not saying anything is going to happen, but I'm saying just in case. If you are interested in getting kind of just channel updates and things of that nature, they will be posted on the Facebook and the Twitter, so you can check those out there on the channel page. And finally, my name is Splattercat. If you're new to this video series or you're new to the things that I've been producing, welcome. That is my name, and I hope to see you next time. So take care out there, and we will see you in our next episode of our Don't Starve Let's Play. Take care, guys.